Hi guys, thanks for listening. I'm going to be talking to you today about Brexit and the importance of importing and exporting, and what are the good things about Brexit, as everyone thinks everything is bad, but that's not always the case.
So let's start with importing. That used to be the main focus of Creative Nature, your business, beforehand. What's changed now post-Brexit?
Yeah, so with importing, yep, you hit the nail on the head there. Importing, we do a lot of, mainly because we import from all around the world for our superfoods. So we go to the likes of Peru, New Zealand, Brazil, Romania. So we're dealing with a lot of different currencies. So you've got things like the New Zealand dollar, the US dollar, the euro, which is good, but also bad in times like this, because obviously when Brexit happened, even though we haven't actually exited, the pound weakened, which wasn't good for importing, because we were paying a lot more per kilo for stock, which makes it very difficult when importing. But you can actually help. There are ways to help yourself in this situation, mainly because you can use things like different brokers who will take not as wide spreads, which will help your business, because even that extra couple of pennies per kilo is so important in times like these. There's also, you can do forward trades, which can work, but I think if you didn't do this before the results of Brexit, there's probably not a lot of much point to do it now. Obviously, you can take more advice from a financial advisor that would have more data to analyse in the market. So what I would suggest is doing things like spot transactions, making sure you look at what's available to trade and what the exchange rate is on the day, and your broker should be able to get this for you very easily. And then we move on to export, really. So as I said, the drawback is importing, but there is a huge benefit now when exporting. Exporting now is the key time to do it. And why is this? This is because more countries are willing to buy from you because the pound is so weak. So they're willing to place larger orders, larger contracts, because they see this happening over the next 2 years. Anyway, this has also opened up a lot of doors in terms of collaborations and partnerships with places like the US and also China.
So I've seen all of those adverts on YouTube, on TV, about exporting is great. What do you think about the government's push?
I think the government are doing very well in terms of, as in, they want the export out there. They want small businesses, large businesses to start exporting, because they know that this is going to build up our economy. If we're exporting, we're bringing money into the UK, which is perfect. But I think the way that they're going about it isn't the best way. I don't think they're educating people enough. For example, there is these big TV ads, as you say, exporting is great. But when I look at these ads, I don't actually know what they mean. So for me, as a company who already exports to places like Sweden and Dubai, for me to actually see these adverts and not know what it means, that's worrying. So I think that the message that they want to send out is there, but I think the way they're conveying that message is wrong. I think the whole Startup Britain, the buses that are going around the UK, is perfect, and I think if they use that with exporting, I think this could work. Having hubs all across the UK to be able to educate people on how they can export, because exporting at the end of the day is quite scary. It's sending a load of goods, whether it be half a container or a container, overseas to someone you might have never even met. Hopefully you would have, but maybe you haven't. How do you know that that's a credible company? It's educating the businesses to understand there's companies like things like Credit Safe out there that you can check any company in the world to see if their credit rating is okay, see how they are, see whether they've they've been trading for 5 years, 4 years, etc. And I think this is really important to educate businesses to be able to do this in an easy manner. There's also the likes of the import duty, export duty, VAT. How do businesses even start? For me, looking at trading with the US, I'm looking at the mountain of paperwork and I'm going, how do I even know where to start? But there are sites like the UKTI, the DIT that can help you through this. People like DEFRA, you can ring up to get advice from. Whether you need a commodity code, for example, because you will need to classify your items before you send them out. And that makes sure that they will tell you whether any of your items have VAT or duty, so that you make sure you're covered. Because you don't want to end up sending a load of product over to the US. They've obviously paid their 50% or their 100% for the invoice, and then you're stuck with a load of duty at the other end. You need to know these things before you start exporting. So yes, exporting can be scary, but it's very easy if you can navigate yourself around the systems. And that's where having someone from the UKTI, like an advisor, on board with you will help you tremendously.
So just one last thing. What happens when the pound hopefully goes up again?
Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be very unstable and over the next 2 years. I think it's going to be very hard to predict. But if the pound does go back up, it will be good for importing. It will be good for us. Obviously, everyone will have probably brought up their prices at that point. So it's how much do the prices go up, and whether people are taking the initial bite off it and keeping their prices the same, or whether they're going to keep increasing them and decreasing them, which I don't think is going to be great for the market, because you can't do it. For example, if you're selling to the likes of a supermarket, they're not going to suddenly go, okay, yep, I'm going to take a 10% increase. Unless, of course, you're Unilever, who can do that. But
that's what we saw with the Tesco fallout.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a lot of repercussions that can happen when the pound does go back up, but inevitably it will be better for companies. With export, it might hurt the costs, where what you would have to do with contracts that you have put in place is maybe say, okay, if they hit a certain target, we'll give you a certain amount of marketing rebate or something like that to incentivize them still. Okay, look, you may have lost a few percent there, but you can gain it back by hitting certain targets. It's important to work as a collaboration with your export partners rather than trying to just make as much money out of them as possible, because yes, you are trying to get as much profit, but you're also looking for a long-term partnership where you can both benefit from this, from your brand being big for when you're exiting, and also for them to make money themselves.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and hopefully the pound won't go up too soon.
Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back with more tips soon. Make sure you sign up to my newsletter, as there's lots of tips on there, and if you follow me on Julianne Ponan, and that is across social media, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. See you guys later. Bye.